What's up, everybody? My name's Trey. Welcome back to Better Day Sports. And in today's video, we'll actually be grading my personal favorite trade from this NBA trade deadline, and that's the New York Knicks acquiring point guard Jose Alvarado from the New York Pelicans for Dalen Terry and two second-round picks, plus a little bit of cash. Now, this might not be the flashiest move, and I understand that Jose Alvarado is not an all-star level player. He's a very competent bench player. At times he can start for you, but in my opinion, he's not necessarily like a starting caliber guard in the league if you really want your team to go far into the playoffs or make a finals appearance or anything like that. But the New York Knicks acquiring Jose Alvarado solves many problems that they currently have. I mean, they just had Miles McBride go out for he has like core muscle surgery, so he'll be out for a little bit so he can kind of cement himself into that backup point guard role. And we all know Jose Alvarado is an effort player, and the New York Knicks love, and I mean love those types of players. Not only that, but the New York Knicks for years, especially under Thibodeau, have essentially ran their starters into the ground, playing every minute of every game, the regular season, playoffs, does not matter. Thibodeau's going to play you if you are healthy, and this allows them to not completely ride their starters into the ground. Now they have people that can come off the bench, Jose Alvarado's, you got Jordan Clarkson, who can relieve some of that pressure from your stars who are already playing a ton of minutes. And especially how New York plays, which New York has always been like a gritty team where, yes, they win a lot of games, but a lot of the games that they win are close. These are not blowouts that the Knicks win. They are tough, drag them out games with a undersized guard in Brunson, who is your all-star, which has shown to be able to win you games in the playoffs. But if he has to shoulder the burden of this entire offense all year, he becomes tired in the playoffs. Simple as that. And this definitely helps out. Now, you probably know Jose Alvarado as the backcourt thief, is probably what I'll start calling backcourt thief, in terms of like he hides over in the corner when the other team inbounds the ball. He comes out of nowhere, gets a steal, gets an easy layup. But it's plays like that that will actually get the Garden absolutely rocking. And if you don't know, I'm a 76ers fan. You cut me, I bleed blue. I'm a Sixers fan, okay? But I want, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I want to be a New York Knicks fan so terribly bad because their fans are absolutely delusional. They think that every year they have a chance to win the finals, and they love their team and they support their team when they're trash, when they're good. Knicks fans just have this absolutely delusion that they live in when it comes to how good their team is. And I absolutely love it. And I wish I could be a Knicks fan. I have nothing holding me to them or trying to take me over there. Maybe they should, draft one of my favorite players come out of college so I can finally be a Knicks fan. Or I lied. I guess I was a Knicks fan for a little bit. I'm a Derrick Rose fan. When Derrick Rose went to the Knicks, I was a fan. But neither here nor there. So getting back to Jose Alvarado, he is not just the backcourt thief who does some steals every now and then. He's shooting 36% from three this season, 35% from his career. He can be a player that you can run your offense through in terms of you could run high pick and roll for him. He's super annoying to play against. He'll guard you full length of the court. He's going to turn you from side to side. He's going to make life difficult on your ball handler. And because of that, he slows down the game and he gives people like Brunson, like Bridges, like Josh Hart, he gives them time to actually get their breath when they're on the bench without having to worry about their offense or defense completely going into the tank because now this team has legit depth and a legit bench that I would say can rival most benches in the league. Not only that, but Jose Alvarado is one of the few players who's on a contract that you look at and you're like, oh, that makes sense. He's only making $4.5 million, which, okay, that's still a ton of money, much more than I make. But in the grand scheme of like NBA players, that's an absolute steal for what he brings to the Knicks organization of just hustle, want to. And he's from New York. So, like, how can you not love the storyline of bringing your what New Yorkie, your New Yorker, you know is New York back to the state that kind of got him famous playing in high school, and it's really nice to see him back playing the style of basketball that we know that he thrives at. Now, on the flip side, what is New Orleans doing? I don't know. I have no idea. New Orleans and the Bulls are kind of neck and neck, which like who wants to make a worse decision for our franchise's future? And the Bulls will make a trade, and then the Pelicans will be like, "Nah, we can one up you on that." And it makes no sense. They're overloaded with guards. They're juggling timelines. They are continuously hoping that Zion's good, which is a complete conundrum because when Zion is healthy and he plays, he arguably top 10, top 15 player in the league. But he never plays. So at what point in time are you saying, hey, we've tried to build around Zion, but having an injured star is not exactly how we're going to make a deep playoff run or really become a relevant franchise because he hasn't been in shape. He has a lot of lower body injuries, and well, some of the pieces around him just do not fit at all. But you would assume that this trade gives them a little bit of flexibility. They get 2 second-round picks, which is nice. They can kind of rebuild to the draft. And especially now with NIL and everything that's going on with college basketball, the players that come out now are better when it comes to just skill wise. And it seems like a lot of players are staying in college longer because if you can stay in college, get $3 million a year, why not stay for a couple years until you're a top draft pick? So you can really build your skills and your game in college so that by the time you become a pro, which I mean, we're all lying to ourselves if we're saying that these college kids are not pro athletes. They're getting paid millions of dollars a year. I understand they're still in school, but like they have the best shooting coaches, the best rebounding coaches, the best dribbling coaches. They have coaches for their coaches to coach them on how they can be coached better. Like these guys are professional athletes. And it's nice to see at the college level now, people are actually working on their games before they come out of college. So they don't have glaring weaknesses in their game. And because of that, I feel like these, future first and second round picks will actually become much more valuable and they'll actually turn into players that will be immediately able to help the team. Sure, will they be, you know, all NBA level players by year 1, year 2, year 3? Maybe not, but will they be competent starters or bench players that will get real minutes and potentially change the games in some aspects? I truly believe that. So really my takeaways for this trade specifically is an absolute A plus for the New York Knicks. They got energy, they got depth, they got flexibility, and they protected their stars because the NBA is a star driven league. So getting you some insurance for your stars playing less minutes or being injured or whatever the case may be is always a plus in my book. The Pelicans, they got assets back and they just continue to kick their problems off for the future. So Pelicans, what are y'all doing? Because I don't know. Closing takes for this one specifically. New York, you did your thing. I want to be a New York fan so bad. Please draft somebody in my coming up mock NBA draft because I want to be a Knicks fan so bad. I love your fans. Trying to love your team, but this move definitely sends it in the right direction. For the Pelicans, I'll give you like a C plus probably for the Pelicans, and it's only because of the draft picks. I get it. Alvarado wasn't necessarily like the greatest of players, but he fits perfectly with a lot of teams who are actually contenders who are trying to make a push to the playoffs and the finals. On the Pelicans, doesn't really make a lot of sense for you to be there because they are the opposite of a contender or making a push for the finals. But it is what it is. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Am I overreacting to this trade when it comes to the Knicks side? Because, like I said, I really love this addition to their depth. And I have a serious question. And what are the New Orleans Pelicans doing? If you're a New Orleans Pelicans fan, leave a comment in the comment section down below, please, of what direction y'all are trying to do, because I'm not seeing it, and I would like to know, because I do make videos on this stuff. And just like that, I will see you in the next one. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get notified every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.